freedom! Tatsu thanks you!
While you may be like Shulk trying to get as far away as possible from Tatsu, don't fret, we won't be just focusing on Tatsu today. Hello everyone, we're going to be discussing the Xenoblade Chronicles series as a whole. As you all know, the first game came out for the Wii, second for the Wii U, and the third for the Switch. I recently remastered the first game for the Switch, and it's pretty good overall. So today we're going to be going through my collection of Xenoblade games, and we will get started with that. So hopefully you guys enjoy. So this is all the Xenosaga Xenoblade games that I have. Most of the ones in the series, obviously all the Xenoblade ones, minus the one on the DS. So if you see here, there's the Collector's Edition of the Definitive Edition. The original Wii version with the cover reversed on it. It's pretty cool that they did that. They also did it for the Xenoblade X Collector's Edition. Here we have Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3. I don't have the original art for 3, but the rest of everything is complete. I'll take that as a win. Now, I also have the strategy guide for episode 3, so it's pretty neat to have too. Here we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, for the Switch, that Collector's Edition, also an artbook inside. That's the steelbook and soundtrack that you see there. Then my favorite of them all, Xenoblade Chronicles X Collector's Edition. Just absolute phenomenal game. And as you can see, they had reversible artwork that matched the Collector's Edition. Really liked that. It was really cool. And obviously the big, massive book for Xenoblade Chronicles X. Really handy. We're going to be talking about this one a bit later. So yeah, this is the collection that I have. It's pretty great. Just missing a little bit from having the whole thing complete. But definitely love the Xenosaga, Xenoblade series. And I hope you guys do too. So let's take a closer look at the art book. Sorry, not art book, the strategy guide. So there's a lot of useful information here about all the different quests, but there's a really cool thing that it had in the mousepad type thing that's not really a mousepad, but you know, it's still artwork from the game. I liked it. It's cool. I use it as a bookmark. So just flipping through, more pictures of Tatsu. Tatsu is Hero Pun, of course. The city in that game was called New LA. Highly recommend that game. If you ever get a chance to play it, it was very good. The Planet Mira, highly recommend it. So that is my collection of games from the Xenosaga series. So now let's jump back in and take a look at some gameplay. So Xenoblades take place in this massive open world. Really, you're living on the backs of Titans. In the first game and second game, well, the Xenoblade 2, not Xenoblade X, for targeting enemies, you could tab through them, like you see here on the screen. There's these little blue orbs you can pick up in the first game and in X that are for item collection. They changed that in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to this weird gathering system. I wasn't a fan. I didn't like it. Because look at this. You just walk through. You have 3 things now. It's great. I really liked this game series overall. But the really good thing about it is that the world is just massive. I mean, just look at this place. It's huge. There's not a whole lot of places like that in the world. So it's really important to just enjoy the splendor that you can see as you're playing these amazing games. So you don't just run everywhere. I mean, it's kind of like Death Stranding in that you run all over the place. It's a big walking simulator, really. But there's lots of different environments. Now, like this, we're on some floating islands in the sky. It's pretty crazy. There's also caves and dungeons and mines and all kinds of other crazy stuff throughout the series. But one thing that's really nice about this game is that you can also swim. In a lot of RPGs nowadays, you go in the water, drown, or have an issue with that. So it's cool that you can swim around, and there's little blue orbs as well on top of the water sometimes that you can pick up, which is also pretty cool. But just look at this. I was standing at the edge of a cliff, and just watching the waterfalls go. It's pretty, it's relaxing. There's tons of different areas throughout this entire series, even though it was just on the Wii and the Wii U and the Switch. There's still really beautiful environments that the game designers put together for everybody to look at. And I mean, this looks like something you could just have as a screensaver for your computer. It's nice and relaxing. So, for those of you that haven't played these games, that you just think, oh, it's on those inferior, weaker systems, they're not going to look that great. They do. They look really nice. It's very impressive what the graphics teams did with the lower powered hardware they had. It's still just incredible. Look at this section in Sartorial Marsh, where you have the blue little orbs like hovering up above the trees. And it does this obviously at night. So, it's just amazing that they could do this much with so little hardware. So if you haven't tried these games, but if you think there's a graphics issue, don't think of it that way. So now we're going to take a look at some combat. So the first and second game, well, the first acts have pretty similar combat. You go, target them, do your move here, use some auras, and then you have things depending on what other items proc that you can do different attacks with. So it's a lot like MMO combat, but there's also stuff that can get really hectic too, where you have multiple enemies at once, and you have cool talent arts, like Dunvan's arts here. Also, there's some quests that can get completed in the middle of combat when you kill the last enemy, so you don't have to go turn them back in. It's pretty cool they did that in the new Definitive Edition. So you basically go left and right with your D-pad, select the skills you want to use. Sometimes you get stuck and need to help your party out, but you know, it's a pretty involved battle system that has different levels for different skills. It depends on which side you're facing the enemy, how it interacts. So if you think you might like games like this, I highly recommend it. The first game for Switch, and obviously the one for Wii U, those are definitely my favorites, but they changed the system so much in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, to where you had tons of auto attack, you only had 3 skills, and they just focused on stuff so much differently. But you can't win them all. However, the greatest game for combat of all of them is Xenoblade Chronicles X. You got to use mechs. It's amazing. I mean, you just fly around, do combat, shoot missiles, other amazing stuff. The combat was also really convoluted in this game, and you had to focus quite a bit on some stuff to be able to do great. So I hope you guys like to look at the Xeno series. It's definitely one of my favorite video gaming franchise out there. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
All clear. Then Tatsu can join friends? Dance of joy! New friends are friendliest friends ever! I know! Tatsu has special thank you gift for friends for saving Tatsu's life. Tatsu will lend it to friends for free.
Lend? It's not a gift if you don't give it.
Give it away? For always? For free? This would be insulting to friends and to Tatsu. No Nopon merchant worth his salt and pepper could do such a thing. Tatsu is grateful, but Tatsu not insane.